Steam is evil. Steam is not your friend. They're the first ones to have the freaking. I mean, not only do they have freaking degenerate sexual crap all over, including with children, with these games still up, and yet, games with minor stuff gets banned or not even allowed in, but they literally allow all these freaking illegal stuff. But also, freaking Gabe Newell with freaking Steam. First off, games like freaking. Okay, actually, before I go to the freaking Black Ops 2 degeneracy they pulled with freaking Black Ops 2's price and other games, even keeping some games the exact same like Nintendo does. Everyone's calling Nintendo out, which is good. They should, but they're not calling out Steam for the exact same thing. But I'll get to that. First, so Steam was one of the first ones, not the first to ever have games that you don't actually own. You own the license to. They admitted this. It was drama that happened at the time. People were saying they can't do this. This is wrong. Go to GOG. GOG actually cares about people. They actually give people the launcher and the game. So they actually own the game. They don't have to be online. Oh, yeah. And people say, oh, you can have offline mode in Steam. Well, so do I. Problem is, like with Gmod, for instance, when they freaking need to update stuff, they'll just take away all your mods until you update it. So you pay for a game with the purpose is to actually have mods in it. It's not just simply to run around with freaking Half-Life 2 stuff. It's called Gmod. So the whole point of the game that people pay money for, that Steam makes money for, you can't actually freaking, own what you wanted. And if there's a game that needs updates or will not work entirely, and it's on Steam, then that's probably not going to work in general if it needs to be updated, and you can update it. Like, let's say you go to, like, Iceland or whatever for isolation. You work at some isolated job. Like, no internet, no cable, whatever. And so you go there. Like, no internet, no Wi-Fi. And when you go there, you download all these Steam stuff. You pay money for it. You think you own these games, even offline games. But if they're online only, or not online only, but if they need to be, either online to play, or at the very least, you need to have updates for it to actually work, and you can't update it when they need another update, that's gonna suck. Offline mode's not gonna save you. If you have Gmod, all these you download all these cool Gmod maps and everything, you can't wait to be isolated and play with all of them, and it needs updating, they take it away. Now, not always, but eventually, after a long time of it being, or however long of it being offline without being updated when it needs to be updated, eventually they'll just take it away entirely. They have for me so many times with Gmod. Because I had a computer, I still have it. That sucks that the Wi-Fi doesn't work. It needs Ethernet cable, so Ethernet cable's away from my room, and we don't have any cable long enough for it. Maybe one day we will, but one day I'll just get another computer. But with the computer I have, Wi-Fi doesn't work, so whenever I need Gmod, to play with, and I'm in my room, away from the Ethernet cable, far away in fact, because if it's very far. I want to play Gmod. I want to play with my mods. And they keep taking it away when I don't update it. You don't own this crap. People call it Nintendo for this crap. People call it Nintendo for this. And I do too. I was one of the first ones. I was against Nintendo since the freaking emulation era. Maybe even before. I did not like them. They freaking, even back when they had Odyssey, Mario Odyssey was the entirety of the team of Mario Odyssey was literally the same people who worked on either Adventure or Sonic Adventure, Sonic Generations, Sonic Adventure 2, whatever. They took those people, they poached them, as in they bribed them into working for Nintendo instead. So Mario Odyssey was not even original to begin with. It was literally by Sonic, like the rival Sonic. It was actually made by the people who made these Sonic games in the first place. Without them, Mario Odyssey would not be Mario Odyssey. Which is why it's more like an adventure game, kind of. Like Sonic Adventure game 1 or 2, Sonic Adventure 2 or something like that, than it is a normal Mario game. And maybe people like it for that reason, because it's made by people who made the freaking other games. So, this is just... So, but back to Steam, though. The point is... these people, if you're going to call it Nintendo, which I do support, I'm heavily against them, Steam is far worse. The games they have that kids can buy and others can buy, and kids can lie about their age and easily get on Steam anyway. The games they can get on there, Nintendo has degenerate games, yes, even on a kids thing, but on Steam, even for people who are normal, they have degenerate illegal stuff. CSGO, I'm not sure if they stopped it. I think they still have it. is infamous for gambling, and children were involved in that gambling. The government was involved in trying to stop that, and I guess they couldn't, or they did, I don't know. But there was a big drama with that too. Gabe Newell knows all this. He owns Steam. He owns all this. He was there when this happened. He like with Valve and Half-Life, without fans, freaking Half-Life wouldn't exist. Or Steam wouldn't exist. That is, and I don't think Valve either, because I'm not sure if Valve was made when Half-Life was made, and then eventually they made Valve right afterwards or something. I don't know. I just know that because as fans, Steam existed, and instead of actually rewarding the fans like other consoles also don't reward us, the Steam also doesn't reward us by pulling this crap. Freaking, you don't own the game, you own the license. And then when other consoles do it, it's bad, which obviously it is bad when other consoles, but like Microsoft and PlayStation. But when Steam does it, it's okay. When Steam's the first one to do it, it's based apparently. Steam's cool. Now there are people like me who are obviously against Steam for doing this crap. It seems everyone thinks that Steam is the hero. That Gabe Newell's a freaking horrible person. Like he knows all this stuff. He's done all this stuff. He knows the degenerate games on his own site. He knows all these stupid crap that happens in his own site. And remember Black Ops 2, when it was on backwards compatibility on Xbox One, and it grew huge on Xbox One because they brought back a really good game. At least for me, the multiplayer was, but the campaign and the storyline compared to Black Ops 1, even though I played Black Ops 2 first, I have different opinions with how they did with characters in Black Ops 2. Anyway, point is that's another topic for another time, different. But multiplayer was great. People love multiplayer. Black Ops 2 multiplayer. I grew up with it. It was probably one of my first Call of Duty multiplayers. I was born in 2002. Now I played Halo 2 multiplayer, like Halo 3 multiplayer, way before them. But okay, point is, back to topic. When Steam realized that people were making, or that Xbox One was getting tons of money, or whatever it was from Black Ops 2 being on Xbox One, I think it was like $20. I think now they priced it up later on. I think, but originally it was like $20 on Xbox One, and if you had the disc, you could just put it in there, unless it was a later on like Xbox One S or whatnot with no disc or whatnot. But the point is, eventually Xbox One, it gets way bigger. They get more money from this. Steam prices Black Ops 2 to $60. It was like 20, I think, $30 or $20. I'm pretty sure it was 20. Same thing with, what was it, Black Ops 1 too? I don't know. I think Black Ops 2 and some other game were priced at $60. The other game was either Black Ops 1 or, I don't know, maybe one of the Modern Warfares, I don't know. COD 4, Black Ops 1, COD 4, I don't know. But whatever it was, Black Ops 2 and some other game were priced at $60. Like how Nintendo has $60 games. In fact, there's still games on Steam that are still $60 to this day. So, yeah, they realized they make money from this. And if it really was freaking Call of Duty if it really was Call of Duty doing the prices, then why didn't they have the price be $60 on Xbox One too? Because if it was growing huge on there, they could have had it $60. It'd be horrible, like Steam, but they make more money, I assume, since people love Black Ops 2 so much, and yet they didn't. They did not, but they did with Steam. So it probably was not Call of Duty at all. It was Steam. Either Steam forced them. There are freaking companies or consoles where they'll tell the developer, hey, price it this much, even though the developer wants to price it different much with their own game. The company that publishing or having on their own platform or console, they say, no, do it our way. And so that's what Steam most likely, if not did. So, yeah, so you can't, so, no, unless Call of Duty did, I don't know. But most likely, considering they didn't do this with Xbox One, and considering, companies have done this before when it comes to, hey, developers can't actually price the games they want if they wanted to have it on this platform or that platform, or console. So in this case, yeah, it's most likely Steam who did it for money. And Steam's infamous for having games $60 anyway, and keeping $60. People call it Nintendo for having games still $60 to this day, which I agree. They're bad. I'm one of the first ones who made a video on Switch 2. Or I think I was, I don't know. I think before the Switch 2 launched, at least I made videos on it. And eventually it launched, I made videos on it again. Like with Mix Switch and other stuff. Point is, they're crappy. If you're going to call it Nintendo, call it Steam 2. We have to. And it's not simply just, don't show double standards. It's actually good that we call out these companies in general. Not just call out one because they're bad, because we don't like them, but call it all of them. And it's not about revenge either. Like, oh, you're gonna call out, Nintendo, call it Steam too. It's call out both, call out all of them. Xbox, Sony, the console war is over. Gamers lost the console war. They realized they make money from a monopoly, and they've been doing a monopoly. Each game being $60. Usually, there's like two different capitalisms. There's the monopoly one, and there's the one that was for like people competing and making prices cheaper, so they can make more money than everyone else. People can buy their products more. And even if you have different reviews on capitalism, at least that part of it was like, hey, instead of everyone being the same price, people would try to price their stuff lower so people could buy it for cheaper and they can make more money than the other competition. So the other competition would in turn do the same thing. So it actually aided the people, the buyers, us, customers. Competition was great. And now, and consoles isn't the only thing, but with consoles, they're doing the same thing, and they've been doing it for a long time. It was like $40, and it was $60, and eventually changed to $40, and $60, then $70, whatever. So like a year or two ago, whatever, they changed to $40 for once after a long time of being $60, and that was the thing, it was a short time, whatever, 40, then they changed it back to 60, and then 70. And they're probably going to be 100 now, especially thanks to Nintendo. And GTA 6. I think GTA 6 was the first one to admit that, yeah, they're going to be like $100. And then Nintendo followed suit with, $90 games and stuff whenever they announced it. Whatever the case may be, whoever started it first, these people are on their own same side. So Steam is involved in this. Steam has done this crap. They're worse considering the illegal content they have. It's not just simply some criminal, drugs, even though they have that. They have games that promote, people doing drugs, obviously. But also the freaking, predator crap, child predator crap. Fetishes with children, these exist. It's like Weimar Republic. It's like Weimar Republic. That's literally what it is. That's freaking, Weimar. Wait, and I'm not just saying that because everyone else said it. I was, I knew about the Weimar Republic crap way before people were memeing about it. And, saying how it's like modern day. Because I was really interested in, post-war, post-World War I Germany. And the Freikorps, I thought it was cool, fighting the communists and whatnot. They're basically militias, and the Freikorps militias existed for centuries. I think they were first as, Prussian Freikorps and the Napoleonic Wars. Point is, though, when I say it's, like with the Weimar crap, like with Steam, I don't just say it's just a meme with Weimar. I actually mean it. And I'm thinking everyone else means it too. But there are people who still also have in the funny sense as well. But they still mean it as well. I've done it before too. But I actually do genuinely, compare it to the freaking Weimar Republic. Weimar Republic was known for doing fetishes with children all the time. Especially little boys. It was horrible. And people act like, only males can be child predators. If you saw Weimar Republic, and many female politicians nowadays, that's not the case. Trafficking, especially freaking the fetishes with little boys in the Weimar Republic was mainly by females, and gay men, but mainly females. So before you say, only men can be pedophiles, no, females too. There are more male pedophiles, mostly officials, but there are still female pedophiles, but maybe less than half is female. So. And then this is not some war against, genders either, okay? I'm just saying truth, because everyone keeps thinking males as always. Anyway, point is, though, they have fetishy crap with children and Steam. They have illegal stuff with gambling as well involved with children, unless they got rid of it, because the government told them to. Because I think FBI was telling them no, but then either they gave up or they actually forced them to not have gambling on CSGO anymore, or the CSGO sites, I don't know. Gambling sites, but yeah, so Steam is not our friends. Steam is our enemy. We should be fighting Steam. Same thing with Nintendo, with Sony, with freaking Microsoft. We're not just going to show double standards. We have to call it all these companies. So if you see another company doing it that I didn't mention, and you say, hey, what about these people, calling all these people to call these people, then I'll agree. Then I'll be like, okay, I should have called these people out then. Or I didn't know they did it, but I know now they did it, so I'm going to call them out. So I'm not going to show double standards either. Okay, I'm going to say what I've been telling you guys. So if there are any companies that that's bad, and you want me to call them out too, I certainly will. I will add to the list of people to call out of these companies to warn people to not support. People support Steam all the time. People think Steam support is good when they freaking ban people who have like thousands of hours or like millions of hours, whatever, and bought like thousands of dollars, $100,000 of games, and if they ban them, even if it's even if they wrongfully ban them, which they most likely do, that you lose all your stuff. You don't actually own it. Oh, you're offline and you get banned on like another device or whatnot online. Goodbye to Steam games, unless that's not the case. But I just know that Steam support is evil. They're not the only ones. People think that because Steam has good games or made good games like Nintendo has, that they're all of a sudden these good guys who are the heroes, and the other companies are evil, but Steam is with us. They're our bros. No, they're not. Especially Gabe Newell. If you want to worship anyone, worship the Lord Christ Jesus, not freaking Gabe Newell. I mean, you guys, if you want to keep being treated horrible by Gabe Newell, go right ahead. Support the horrible things he does. Go and say you support games that are license-only games that you can lose even if you're offline. Because that's what Steam did. They're like the first one to do it. One of the first ones to do it. Go to, tell them that continue on. If you truly are with Steam, tell Steam to continue what they're doing, to, continue this degenerate child fetishy crap they do. Tell Steam, tell Gabe Newell, DM him, send him messages, emails, if you're truly with Gabe Newell and not with us. Not with us, especially not with us Christian gamers who are against degeneracy. Then tell Steam that you support Steam. That continue doing these awful, horrible things. If you're not with Steam, do not support them. Join us. We are literally in a war against these companies. The console wars is now the freaking gamers versus console company wars, or companies and gaming companies in general wars, depending on the companies, I guess. There's probably good companies, I don't know. And if you want games to stop being killed, Steam has aided the freaking killing games. Steam has supported them. Steam has supported all these things that you are against. Especially anti-consumer friendly, anti-gamer friendly, Steam literally freaking supports. So if you're going to support Steam, well, all the values you have with video games as like gamers, what the gamers need, supporting Steam goes against all your values with that. If you truly want things to change, don't just call out Nintendo, don't just call out Sony, Microsoft, the other people, Part Software or whatever, call out Steam as well. They're the biggest, or one of the biggest involved with this. And like I said, if you truly want to worship someone, do not worship Gabe Newell. Worship the Lord Christ Jesus. God bless you all.